What's up YouTube? Dr. McIntosh with Health and Performance Center. Wanted to hop on here and make a video about choosing your protein sources. So this is choosing your protein source for your diet. Again, I'm Dr. McIntosh with Health and Performance Center. So we're talking about protein today. So first thing I want you guys to understand is that protein is king for diets and body composition. Protein has to be the first thing you think about when formulating a diet. And the two things that I want you to think about are, what is the source of my protein and how much of that source am I getting in either grams or calories. So pause the video, screenshot this page. This is super important. These are the animal source proteins that I want you guys to make most of your choices from. I'm not going to read off all of these, just want to highlight a few. 95.5 ground beef, that's very lean, and top sirloin beef, they're both very lean. Those are excellent sources, along with the rest that you can see on here. The second chart here is plant-based sources of protein. Now, as you can see, they're all pretty much lower than the ones before, with some exceptions. These are usually not complete sources of protein, so you'd have to pair them with something else to get a full complement of essential amino acids, which is why, especially for wrestlers who are trying to cut their calories way down to get every ounce of fat off their body possible, you want to choose mostly things from this first table, not this table. There's nothing wrong with these. These probably should be included, maybe one or two meals, but most should be from the first table. So again, why do we want to choose that? Because we want the most amount of essential amino acids with the least amount of calories. Animal foods also come with a lot of other things such as iron, zinc, calcium, etc., etc. Now, one thing for wrestlers, you don't want to be loading up on fat, right? If you go back, you can see 2% cottage cheese, you can see non-fat Greek yogurt. Why? Well, it seems blatantly obvious that if you're trying to lose weight, you have to be minimizing calories from all sources, and animal foods tend to have a lot higher fat content than their plant-based alternatives, so you have to be conscious of that. Choose sources that are naturally lower in fat, or make choices like 95.5 ground beef, 90.10 ground beef, top sirloin instead of ribeyes, right? Just lower in fat. You go with the non-fat Greek yogurt as opposed to the 2 or 5% Greek yogurt. Kind of seeing a trend here. Now, I wanted to highlight a few sources that are sort of should be your go-tos. I just wanted to highlight this again. Non-fat Greek yogurt, great source. 95.5 ground beef or sirloin steak. Chicken breast, egg whites, protein powder, that can be the whey or the casein, and then ground turkey. There are some others that I would add on that list, but when in doubt, if you're hungry, reach for one of those sources of protein. Next, your protein targets, right? We always have a goal in mind. Wrestling is a weight class sport, so you have to hit your goal. And we're gonna start with maintenance. We've already done a video about how to set up your calories, right? So you guys should know how to set up your maintenance calorie target. So if you wanna maintain your weight, you wanna shoot for 20% of your daily calories from protein, or around 0.75 grams per pound of body weight. Here's an example. A 150-pound person should consume about 113 grams of protein per day. If you're trying to lose weight, you up your protein to 25 to 30% of your daily calories, or around 1 gram per pound of body weight. Here's another example. A 185-pound person should consume about 185 grams of protein per day if they're wanting to lose weight. Now, again, I've said this in multiple videos. You want to start with the daily deficit of about 300 calories a day, and you'll look at your weekly trends as far as your weight loss progression. If you're not losing weight as fast as you would like to, well, then you would adjust and drop more. Go with 500. You might go up to 700 a day, but I want you to start with 300. Now, if you're wanting to gain weight, you can actually drop your protein down just a tiny bit. You can go anywhere from 15 to 20% or 0.75 grams per pound of body weight. And why do you do this? Well, if you're trying to gain weight, you want to fuel your activity more. You want to create a surplus of calories with either carbs or fats. Primarily, I would rather you guys do it with sources of carbs. And naturally, your calorie equation is an equation. If you take one from somewhere else, you have to plug it in somewhere else. So you pull the protein lever just a touch and put that into your carbs. Now, here's a full example. 17-year-old male, 5'10", he weighs 185 pounds. He wants to maintain his body weight. Sorry, I just messed up the camera here. So I went on to find his BMR. I went to the calculator online. He's 17, blah, blah, blah. You see. So the two red lines, exercising 4 to 5 times a week or daily intense exercise. So this guy's eating a ton of calories just to maintain his body weight. So if he wants to maintain, right, let's think about the last slide. 20% of his daily calories, about 2,800, you want that to be from protein. That's about 560 calories from protein, or you want to aim for 0.75 grams of protein per pound of body weight. 185 times 0.75 will give you 0.7 will give you that equation is 140 grams. Split that between 4 meals. What does that look like? He's eating about 35 grams per meal. In summary, choose sources of protein with a full complement of essential amino acids. I want this to be mostly animal sources with some inclusion of some of those plant-based options that we went over earlier. Aim between 15 to 25% of your daily calories from protein, or 0.75 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. I want you guys to get 4 meals per day of a high protein source. And I have some considerations here. Before bed, right before you go to bed, I want you guys to eat another high protein meal. That's one of the 4. The pre-sleep protein can be a shake. They make shakes now that are mostly casein protein. It's a very slow digesting. Will digest in about 6 hours overnight. It basically will be building your muscle. You will be recovering while you sleep. Pre-sleep protein is very important, and it can be a shake. The last thing I want you guys to consider is to have at least 1 serving of eggs and 1 serving of beef per day. Why? Those sources have a lot of micronutrients in it. As you progress through the wrestling season, you're in a steep deficit trying to get down to weight and stay down. You absolutely need to be maximizing things like iron and zinc. They are going to keep your energy up. They're going to keep your hormone levels up as you are progressing throughout the season. So at least 1 serving of eggs and beef per day. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. And thanks for watching. Subscribe to our page.